Hey guys, it's Beth, and The Walking Dead has officially been added to Dead by Daylight, which would be cool aside from the fact that, dear God, so many issues came from it that it is objectively impossible to talk about this chapter in any way other than negatively. This is quite possibly the worst update we have had since Twins PTB. Yes, it is in fact that bad. And if you as a survivor are seeing a lot of powerful killers like Blight, Kaneki, and Nurse right now, there is a good reason for that. And that is that some things are just outright broken right now. And there's not a lot that you can do to mitigate that other than just min-maxing how strong your build is. It's quite bad. Number one, Michonne here has a lot of issues with her voice lines and the volume of her voice to begin with. Number one, I stopped for a moment because occasionally when you are hooked as Michonne, you will hear the vocal director speaking to the voice actress in the background of their lines. It's just left in. Michonne is also much louder than she should be. Her hurt running sounds are assigned to her regular uninjured running animation, which means that she is the one of, if not the loudest survivors in the game. And it plays too frequently. So if you are up against a plague, you play the vomiting noises over and over on repeat. Now, if it was just that, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. However, this is also forgetting the fact that many killers are bugged beyond belief right now. And there's just simply nothing that can be done about it. And there are very few ways to mitigate how bad they are right now, because sometimes when you load into a match, killers will not be able to gain Bloodlust, which is a mechanic that exists solely to eliminate Survivor Infinites, which means that due to this update, there will be situations where killers cannot catch a survivor no matter what they do. That is why you mainly see mobility-based killers right now, because getting the first hit is the most important thing. Chase will only begin after an M1, which is horrifying, frankly. The fact that this got pushed through to live is terrifying. When it comes to other issues, however, it's pretty bad. There are graphical artifacts and leftover assets inside of the loading screen. Yes, the loading screen is bugged. The new item added on the survivor side has an issue of being pretty much worthless in most circumstances, aside from if the person you are facing has any sort of auditory or visual impairments, which basically makes it impossible for them to play the game. It doesn't help that occasionally it will trigger flashing lights, which could be problems for anyone who has issues with epilepsy or seizures. Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. Of course, those same issues have existed since the original fog crystals back in the Halloween events nearly 2 years ago. So yeah, they just left that in and pretty much made it unchanged other than changing the color of the smoke. It's sad. The perks added on the survivor side are broken, both in terms of design and in terms of power. Conviction by Michonne makes it so that anytime you heal another survivor, you will then be able to pick yourself off of the ground in 7 seconds. That is the fastest way to pick yourself off of the ground, and possibly the fastest way to recover in the entire game. And it does not get deactivated in endgame like other perks that would make it impossible to, that would make it much easier to not deal with issues at the end game. I didn't record my previous match, but I was able to, thanks to Conviction, unhook someone and then, trade with them. They left me on the ground for 7 seconds. I picked myself up and made my way to the gate, and there was not a single issue. It is very strong. And then, of course, you have issues like introducing another Vault perk, which, in addition to making it much harder for killers to pick up, because it's another way to stun people, it has a bug which makes it so that as soon as you initiate a vault in any way, shape, or form, your hitbox is now on the other side of the vault, making it much, much more difficult for killers to hit through windows. And of course, that on its own is not the big issue. The issue with things like this and Made for This is, in their old state, is the fact that it is much, much more difficult to detect cheaters because of that. Inconsistency is the death of being able to tell if something is legit or not. Yikes, that was a good hit. I gotta say, it's a shame Overcome doesn't work that well against Blight. And I will say, it's kind of nice seeing Blight again, because you haven't seen him that much recently, because Kaneki does a lot of his job significantly better. And I tend to find Kaneki more fun, personally. And of course, then you go into the poor killer decisions. Like, they, for some reason, decide to nerf Clown's pink bottles, and made it so that his yellow bottles are completely and utterly broken. They've removed any amount of skill expression from the character, which is, always fun. But more than that, they made it so he can stack so much haste onto himself with his yellow bottles that he is always going to outspeed everything. It's terrible. Instead of making it so that a lot of Clown players simply ignore the yellow bottles, even though they were already very effective, they've made it so that the best thing for you to do is to ignore the purple bottles. Yeah, no, it's not good. In fact, I'd say it's kind of terrible. It's, horrifying. Horrifying is a good word to use. Personally, a couple issues here and there would not be a problem. However, we have been stacking bugs on top of bugs like Clown currently stacks haste. None of the bugs from the PTB have been fixed. None of the bugs from this entire year up to this point have been fixed. Knight is still in a incredibly broken state. Twins has had more issues pop up for them, which is just frankly normal. This Blight won't leave me alone, but that's more of a personality issue on their end instead of me, or the game as a whole. Yeah, basically a lot of killers have bugs right now. Kaneki is one of them. And it forces killers to play in a much more scummy and unfun way to survivors, which is, it's always what you want, to force characters into a botched playstyle, that makes it unfun for everyone, as opposed to simply, why did you run behind me? Oh yes, and right now crouching is very effective as a strategy. You wanna know why? Because right now if you crouch, you completely turn off every sound that your survivor makes. So there's another nerf for Spirit, guys. Yeah, it's quite bad. You don't need to bring Iron Will anymore. You can just hit the control key, and you no longer make noise. At all. It's awesome. I'm gonna die anyway, bro. I'm bringing my team out. My team is more important than me. Oh, well that's just an unfortunate stutter with Unreal Engine 5. Doll? What are you doing? Why are you following behind? You don't have breakout. What? Huh? I'm confused. Alright, well, hopefully at least 2 of my teammates can get it out of there. There's spectate. Did they move the spectate button? Well, there you go. Why are neither of you opening gates? Why are you in a locker? Okay, whatever. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Honestly, I will say, I really appreciate the design work and the costuming and everything here on this chapter. I think that Michonne and Rick look fantastic. There's another blight. Okay. But yeah, Last Stand is honestly more useful as a fuck you to... Oh my god. I would love to not have to do the actual looping. I'm not good at looping. I'm much better at, you know, sitting on generators. I would prefer to not... Okay. That's fucked up. I hate Unreal Engine 5 so much. Have I ever mentioned the fact that I dislike Unreal Engine 5? And by dislike, I mean I have a hatred for Unreal Engine 5 that burns like the light of 1,000 suns. But yeah, that's another good thing. For some reason, connections are just worse now. Okay, if you want to heal, let's heal. Hey, I ran someone for 1 gen. I did my best. I actually kind of want to grab one of Michonne's alternate costumes. She has a damn cape. I love capes. Fuck The Incredibles. I don't care what some mediocre movie from 2005 says. Capes are cool. Seriously. But yeah, honestly, there's a lot to enjoy here. There is good aspects. It just so happens that everything is bugs. Everything is bugs. Like, just like Fortnite is introducing the bug invasion chapter, unfortunately, Dead by Daylight has also added the bug invasion chapter, except it wasn't intentional. It's a bit of a shame that there are so many issues right now. Because I think overall, this year, Dead by Daylight has been doing significantly better in terms of fixing its issues and, doing what it can to actually, improve the game for new players. But it's still just... This is just one of those examples where they need to do better. A lot of people are saying that they should delay future content updates so that they can do more health initiatives. And honestly, I've said before in the past that I think if Dead by Daylight did that, it would cause a lot of the player base to drop off because they got bored with it. But honestly, I feel like it's no longer something that can just be fixed over time. The game has gotten to a state where they genuinely need to start fixing the problems that were introduced this past year. And from even beyond that, it's just depressing, honestly. Because I know that the people who work on this game do their damn best. They try their damn hardest, and they do everything that they can. But it's just... I think they're doing something that they should have never started doing in the first place, which is rushing themselves to a spot that's just unattainable. We are no longer in a position where the health of the game can be ignored. We are currently in a position where the game is no longer in a quality state. I feel like during the Springtrap and FNAF chapter, it was pretty much perfect, but it's just fallen apart. Yeah, that's just embarrassing, ain't it? Sadako! It's been a while since I've seen my girl. Probably because she's terrible, and behavior absolutely gutted her. But hey, at least she's not as gutted as Skull Merchant. Oh, she's across the map. Please don't come to me, girl. Yeah, I knew she would. Oh my god, she's back. Why? Well, not that I blame her. I really don't. but like, ugh. Sprongus. Hello, Sable. Cool new Sable skin on the free track of the Rift. This might be the first Rift I don't buy since for like a while. Since honestly the paid track, the only skin that I really want is the Michaela. The best things like the unknown skin and the Sable skin are free. Like, I don't know. And even then, like, the unknown skin is awesome, but I much prefer having my girl unknown. But I don't know. We'll see. Unknown has some really nice cosmetics in general. Okay, that's one gen done. Is a P9 Springtrap. He knows his shit. Oh, hi there, buckaroo. It's a shame we didn't get, like, a zombie killer to go along with The Walking Dead. I like zombies. As you can probably tell by my icon. This Fang is ridiculous. That is definitely a skin that came from mobile. What the hell is that? I got you. You know what would be a fun way to buff better than new? Make it so that we also get the buffs to, like, cleansing speed and stuff. I think that could be cool. You know, you help someone out, so you get a benefit. I think that's a good idea. Shit. Okay, that's my bad. Sorry, I'm not fully locked in because I'm actually locked in on the door. Because there's supposed to be like... Oh, yeah, that's the flashing. Yup. Oh my god, so that's how you tell when Springtrap is coming. That's kind of ridiculous. Can you leave me alone, sir? There has gotta be some vault point. Are you kidding me? Is there just nothing on this entire side of the map? That's ridiculous. I was like, oh, I don't want to go through that window back there, because, you know, he's probably going to be able to slap me at that point, because, you know, I'm doing a sideways, thing. No. My mistake. I should have realized that there's no security on this side. I wish I was in her position on the ground instead of, being hooked, because, you know, I have the ability to pick myself up off the ground. And yeah, I'd recommend using Conviction before it gets nerfed, because dear lord, it is going to get nerfed. How the hell did it regress this much? Okay. But yeah, I guess now I know how Springtrap's power works. The whole door flickers a bit, so you have to kind of be locked into it. He literally has less warning than Sadako coming out of the doors. That's ridiculous. He shouldn't. He should not be as much of a stealth killer as he is. Meanwhile, Sadako is a failure of a stealth killer because, you know, visual heartbeat radius. Which, you know, it's kinda pointless when... Oh shit, it's flashing. Bones. I'm gonna get my points because I'm dead as hell. I'm pretty sure, at least. I also think Better Than New could potentially get a buff in the form of, like, you know... you could actually, like, give it a healing speed buff. That'd be nice. Oh, also Springtrap is bugged, so you actually can't see where he's aiming his, hatchet. It's also the same with Huntress. There's also not a pallet here, that's really cool. Why are you on the ground? Why are you plot twisting 3 feet away from my hook where you can easily get found? Flip-flop, unbreakable, plot twist, and power struggle. That's nice. You probably shouldn't do that. He could have trick bag. Like, you could have died there.